Colin, just changing tack, Longines Irish Champions Weekend is almost upon us once again, and that's a fixture you've enjoyed notable success at since its inception. What in particular would stand out for you in the story so far? I suppose Champions Elysee's win in the Matron Stakes for Johnny Mercer would have to be right up there with it.
Yeah, no, obviously it was great to ride give Johnny his first Group 1 winner. As a young jockey, you looked up to him, the likes of him. He's a fellow Mead man. He was one of the world's best riders, and to ride him his first Group 1 winner was very special, I thought.
I've no doubt it's going to be a fairly hectic couple of days for you once again, but is it something that you really look forward to, those 2 days at the same time?
I think, yeah, definitely. It's the best of Irish racing. Some of the best horses and riders come from all over the world to compete at it. Brilliant prize money, great atmosphere. I think it's where you want to be riding. And
just how much emphasis do you and Ger place on that weekend in terms of the season as a whole? Is it one you've kind of got ringed in the calendar, setting horses out for it from a long way off?
I think so, yeah. Like Ger wants to have as many runners at it as possible, and if there's horses for those races, he'll try to have them peaking on them days to get as much money as possible.
That's what it's all about. And what are you making your chances of adding to the tally this year, Colin? Do you feel you guys got a nice bunch of horses to go to war with?
I think so. We've a mixture type. We've probably more middle to back end type of 2-year-olds this year, more 3-year-olds. They're starting to come now. Our fillies are more precocious than our colts at the moment, but I think we've a few nice back end 2-year-old colts that are going to come through yet. There'll be nice 3-year-olds, but no, I think with a bit of luck we could have a nice back end to the season.
Now, you've ridden winners for British-based trainers like Richard Fahey and John Quinn at previous editions of that meeting as well. Would you be optimistic your agent Rory Tierney, who I know is a big part of your success, will be able to get you on a few good spares again?
Well, hopefully, if once we're not riding for Ger or Noel or who needs us over here, he's usually the first man on the phone to get us on the best rides available. He does a very good job for me.
You have had some nice 2-year-olds out already this season, Colin. Horses like Maui Wowie, for example, who made a great start to her career at Naas and resumed winning ways at the Curragh recently. I know she's a possible runner in Irish Champions Weekend. How pleased have you been by her progress so far?
Yeah, she's a lovely filly. She's a lovely filly, Gar. I thought she was good and gutsy in the Curragh the last day, and her form has since been franked the other day with Paddy Toomey's filly winning in York. She's a filly I think you'll see the best of her when she steps up a furlong and even has a little bit more ease in the ground. But no, she's a nice filly going forward, and look, if there's something for her, I'm sure the boss will have her ready for Champions Weekend if needs be.
Helsing's another one I know you like. Good winner at Tipperary last time. A horse with plenty of options. Do you think the best is yet to come from him?
I think so, yeah. I think he's a horse that's very much learned on the job. He's a massive big horse for a dandy man. Gets 7 well and will have no problem going a mile. But I'd say he mightn't even come into his own till next year, because he's such a big and unfurnished horse yet.
I'm sure we're going to see some of the more established favourites from Glen Burney over the weekend at Leopardstown in the Curragh as well. Thunder Kiss, we'll see her all being well, will we? She must be a real favourite.
Yeah, she's a star to have in the yard. She's rock solid. She never runs a bad race. I think she could go for the race. I can't think of the name of it now, but she turned up in last year, and her stable Camorra beat her. But no, she's been a great mare to have for the yard. As I say, she never runs a bad race, and she's always picking up black type.
And seeing as you mentioned Camorra, give us a word on him. He's obviously bagged a nice prize already at the Curragh this season. Could lightning strike twice?
Yeah, possibly. I think it was a career best the last day with him. He handled the good ground very well. He's a very uncomplicated horse. He stays well, and he's going to have a stab at the Ledger, which I suppose he deserves to after his win the last day.
Has he taken you a little bit by surprise? Could he, I suppose, surprise you again maybe in a race like the Ledger?
Yeah, I suppose he could. He's probably a horse that always kind of goes under the radar, and we fit the headgear went back on him the last day. Not that he's ungenuine, but he's a big lazy sort of a boy, and the blinkers make a massive difference to him. So if they can leak out another bit of improvement in him, he could run a big race.
And George Vale's another one who's been a good old servant. No doubt that we'll see him rock up at some stage over those 2 days. Can he be a player, do you think?
I think so. When he's on song and at his best, I think he probably just needs a bit of an ease in the ground to be at his best. But he could possibly go for the Boomerang Mile maybe. I thought he ran a massive race in the Curragh the last day behind Luxembourg. furlong and a half, 2 furlongs down, he looked like he was going to beat the two. He's a very high cruising speed, strong traveller. Doesn't always probably find what you think when he comes down off it, but no, as I say, he's rock solid, and he'll have another day before the year is out, I think.